time when we're going to arrive in each state line. So this is my new Cannonball car, 2016 Audi S6. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, this kind of looks like a Ford Taurus. Well, we've made it that way. So let's take a look. First thing that's going to jump out at you is the fake Ford logo. So we took the word Audi, put it in Ford font, and just went over an actual Ford emblem. Kind of put it to a metal plate, took off the 4 rings of the Audi, and voila. Now, the other thing that we had to do was we kind of had to reshape the grille. Now, the grille on these Audis is usually big, open, black grille, so we covered the bottom portion in white vinyl to kind of reshape it and make it look more like a Ford Taurus. In addition, we've kind of reshaped the headlights to look more like a Ford Taurus as it's coming in from behind you. One of the most difficult things to make this look like a police car was what to do with the wheels. So what we decided to do was go with 19-inch OZ wheels in black, and then we actually plastic dipped the centers to make it look like a dog dish hubcap. In the back, we took reflective vinyl and kind of covered over the edges to reshape the taillights more like a Taurus. Added the reflective chevrons and a fake unit number. So when this car goes past people, they just automatically will assume it's a police car. Top that off with a couple antennas, and you've confused probably about 75% of the people out there. Under the hood, there's not much to see. Looks pretty stock. But under here we've got RS7 turbos, a set of alpha downpipes, an alpha heat exchanger, and most importantly, we've got the Dyno Spectrum DS1 tuner. Now this tuner, you're able to switch between fuel maps by using the cruise control stalk, and that proved invaluable as we ran 93 octane for the first half of the country and then ran 91 for the second. So inside, one thing I like better about the Audi S6 is kind of how all the screens laid out. Now over here we've got a tablet running Waze, we've got a phone running a GPS app, an iPad running Waze for the passenger, and a Garmin GPS. On the dash, got the tried and true Passport Max 360 radar detector. In addition, I've got the ALP laser diffusers, sort of haphazardly, temporarily mounted in the glove box there. Control panel here glued to the dash, and the warning light sort of taped to the dash here. In place of the glove box here, we've got the fuel transfer system from the E63 that operates the fuel cell and has the gas gauge for the cell. For the fuel system, we just took the stuff out of the E63. And what's crazy is it fit like a glove. It fits so perfect, the only thing we had to do was trim the fuel cap. This car ended up being a hodgepodge of a few Cannonball cars. During the quarantine, it was really hard to get parts, so I pretty much just had to scavenge what I could. So the electronic stack in this car actually came out of a Cannonball Corvette. It was in between the seats, and this had the fuse panel, a circuit breaker, the CB radio, and a power inverter. So it's just sort of strapped into the back seat here. So what I'm sure everybody wants to know is, how does this car measure up to the E63 AMG? I'd have to say that this car is probably about 85% of the car that the AMG is. But we're really not comparing apples to apples. An AMG is probably better compared to something like an RS7. Now this is just an S6, so it's lacking a little bit in the brakes and the suspension department. Also, it's only a 4-liter. Compared to a 5.5, doesn't make as much power. Haven't had it on the dyno, I'm gonna guess this car probably has about 600 horsepower. But what it lacks in performance, it made up for in its disguise. And if you know anything about me, I love police cars. So I had a lot of fun kind of disguising this car. And in the end, it did the job. So am I dissatisfied? Not at all.